Sorya Raju, welcome to My Community Voice. My name is Tito Scholl. I'm your guest today.
Thank you. I feel very honored.
Look, it's a media platform for mainly people from diverse background, which I believe your target group. You work with the migrant community in Sydney. So please tell us something about your company or your service, which is called Migrant Success. What it is, what you do, and how you can link up with the migrant communities in Sydney.
Fantastic. Thank you. I might just say a little bit about my background, actually. I originally came from Malaysia. I did my schooling and uni here, but I did go back to Malaysia to work for 10 years and been back here for about 30 years. And during that time, I've actually been in the corporate sector. So my background was auditing and very much compliance.
Wow.
focused, and I was a superannuation specialist.
Wow.
So for many, many years. And then I think there came a point when I was looking, what am I doing in the corporate world? You know what it's like, in the corporate world, you've always got to be on the go, 24/7. And then I just wanted to put my experiences into another perspective. And I started, first thing I did about branding, and I got into that. Image was very important, particularly when you come from overseas and a woman, and you look different. Terribly important. People judge you, particularly fund managers and all
Of course,
that.
of course, yeah.
So from there, I also did CELTA English teaching for as a second language, but I actually focus more on business language and all.
Okay.
And so from there, one thing led to another. And my then coach said, why don't you put it all together and use your experience to help other migrants? And I believe that I do have a success story, but I had to work for it. So what I ended up doing is I did a lot of focus groups, met different communities, met employers, immigration agents, recruiters, to see what is the gap. And that's when I realized that there is a need for something for people that particularly like skilled migrants or come. There isn't. They sort of fall, you survive, you've got your degree and everything, so why not? You survive. And that doesn't really go down well. Many of them struggle.
Yep.
And I look at myself as a skilled migrant, and I thought it is a duty in a way of all my experiences to sort of give back to the community, and this is the way we do it. So we are calling all these skilled migrants, even more now post-COVID, but what are we really helping them? Are we helping them to settle in or just letting them go and find jobs? It doesn't mean they come as skilled migrants, they get jobs.
No, of course not. It's a hard work.
Yes, exactly. So I decided to form a program called Look, Act is about, and behavior. So from there, I looked at it and I developed this called 5 steps to success. And the first part is about how do you look, your image, because you come from different countries, you have different perceptions of what it is. And the second part is about not just CV building, interview, but after you get the job, what do you do? And the third part is actually more focused on networking, but also the behavior in the office place. And I also focus on business language, because many people have told me they just sit at the table, dare not ask the boss what he's talking about. And so very different. And I also teach them meeting skills, interview skills, and follow on from them. I also teach them also dining, fine dining.
Table manners.
Table manners and all, because, when you come from different countries, like I come from a background where I use my hand to eat. So people don't know. And I've often seen the struggle at, industrial luncheons and all that. They are not quite sure. Waiters are circling around. They didn't realize they have put it, wrongly. So it just makes them, it empowers them and gives them the confidence when they're entertaining clients and, be more presentable. And then the last part is all about Australiana, the uniqueness of Australian culture. And, it includes words that we may use may be offensive in another country, but here it is taken as, hey, and Australians, they like you, they insult you.
Yeah.
And people have wondered, oh my God, they're insulting me. But hey, it's a friendly way
Yeah.
of communicating. That means you've been accepted.
Yeah.
So that is the whole concept of the program. And I've had people, Ryde Council is one of my main supporters. And it's sort of interesting. In the beginning, people thought it would just be Asians coming to it. But I've had Russians
Coming in. Wow.
from the Nordic states.
So you are global now.
And their culture is quite different.
Of course.
They don't know anything about volunteering. And they say, why am I not paid? Why should I volunteer? And then I have from as diverse as South America, China, Middle East, a lot from the Emirates, and as well as India and other countries, So it's really a diverse global group, and they all are keen to come. And as far as I know, there isn't a holistic program like what I do. And I can do one-to-one and perhaps mentor them for 6 months or so to see how they settle in. But I'm expanding it now beyond so that when they come or before they come, they have an opportunity of one of the banks that I'm talking to start a bank account, and then helping them when they arrive here. We're also looking at housing, temporary housing.
Okay.
So it's a big picture.
So before we go into detail and bring about the perspective of the participants, I just ask from you and let you help to be more reflective. As a very highly educated, competent migrant from Malaysia, what are the barriers that you've encountered in Australia first when you came in? What do you think the biggest barrier or the biggest hurdles?
I think one of the biggest barriers is because they come as skilled migrants, basing on their qualifications, a lot of them under the perception that, hey, I've got academic qualifications, so I should be getting a job. And after all, they say, 200 engineers or so. It's a soft skills.
Oh, soft skill, okay.
Yeah, and that's a big difference because I always show them on a board soft skills versus technical skills. And I always point out in your country, what is important? Technical skill. In Australia, it's soft skills. So your qualifications can be lower, but the fact that you've got more soft skills will get you the job.
But from that perspective, do you think Australia is not really entertaining or appreciating the technical skills as opposed to soft skills or relationship?
I think it's a combination of both. You can have all the technical skills, but if you don't have the soft skills as well, it can't be. And it's not, Australia definitely appreciates highly skilled people we desperately want. But then when they come into the workplace, working as teams and all, how do they perform? Perhaps a lot of organizations don't have the time
to provide.
Actually help them to provide. And I think COVID has hit that more, and in a hybrid working situation, there's a problem. You can't have mentoring and all that. So, yeah, I believe so.
Now, the initiative that you undertook, Migrant Success, is it funded by yourself or is it funded by any federal agency? Or
I started that with myself. Then I managed to get funding from Ryde Council.
Or Ryde Council, okay.
Yeah, who has been one of the biggest supporters because we look at Macquarie Park as a prime
the business park.
Exactly. And we're now getting Ukrainian, highly skilled Ukrainians as well, and I'll be actually doing something for them too. So in terms of funding, at the moment, I also have one-to-one who are able to pay me. So what I really like to do is because this is the only holistic program, most other programs actually help them to get a job, help them to do a CV, help them with the interview skills, but not beyond that. So with that holistic program, I'm looking forward to getting to it higher levels. So I've now contacted our Benelong MP, is in the Ryde government now, Jerome Lexell. So I want to be able to talk to him, and also our current mayor is so supportive. He actually came to my first workshop and showed how important it was that a young 27-year-old, can actually be a mayor. So I'm just looking more into upgrading it because it is my copyright, the whole program I wrote. And a lot of it is actually from my observations as when I worked in the corporate sector. I saw what it's like and the struggles that I went through as an ethnic woman and also my accent. And I always tell people, never mind about the accent, but speak slowly. So I also teach them ways to improve myself. So what did I do? I went to Toastmasters.
I know Toastmasters, yeah.
Which is so important. But what happened at Toastmasters took me a year to give my first speech. But then I went on to become division governor. And I always believe when that opportunity strikes, grab it, then find
Right
out
moment.
how to do it.
Cool. Is this program open to all migrants or certain part of the world?
I think it's open to all migrants because one of the beauty of my program is I can actually unpack it and customize it to the needs of organization or that particular group where they come from. Because one of the things I do is I actually, in the past world, I was the president of the Image Association for Australia. So at the international conferences, I've met others from around the world. So I have that network. I can actually ring them and ask them, oh, there's somebody from your country. What are the things and all that?
Cool. So, I mean, if you're talking to migrants, what would be your message to them? I mean, step by step, like, what they can do to get the benefit and outcome from your particular program?
I think one of the main things, one of the most exciting things is during the workshops, I've had Russians, Chinese and all. And I was amazed. They would otherwise have been in their silos. But what was amazing was they helped each other. And the Russians say, hey, I know a contact for this, to the Chinese. Normally that wouldn't have happened. So it is breaking the silos. Because I think the more, we all do that, more with COVID, we tend to be with our own communities and all that, where we feel more comfortable. I think by breaking, because this is a wonderful multicultural
society.
Exactly. So bringing them together, I think it enriches each other's cultures as well. One of the things I would just tell migrants, it just doesn't come. You have to work for it. One of the key things I found where they get a lot of benefits is volunteering, because that's where your soft skills come in.
Okay.
And it's not just volunteering standing, in a reception or anything, but various forms of volunteering where you can use your own technical skills. Often employers ask, but you don't have Australian experience, but you can demonstrate. Well, I did use my skills to do in my volunteering capacity. In fact, I set up something for them. An engineer can say they came up with some great idea for building something, even in a playground. So it is a showcasing their own particular technical skills as well into it. And also they get to mingle with people of different communities. And I think that actually helps them. And I had a Russian who said the concept of volunteering is not in Russia or Ukraine. So she was really surprised, but that actually has led her to a present job because they saw her skills and they actually sent her for training free. And from there, she ended up with a current job.
Sorya Raju, thanks very much for opening up this opportunity for the migrant communities in Sydney, which we believe there's many, it's almost 60% now. And in future, we'll be talking to you more on a regular basis. And I believe that you can bring the opportunity close to them in future.
Thank you so much. It's my absolute passion to help the migrant community. I've been a migrant myself, and it's a legacy I want to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.